All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome on back. Continuing along, of course, our Tuesday afternoon here, August 18th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. A lot of talking today, just refilled up on the water. Great to see everybody, though. Greg, George, Jose, Michael, Daniel, Pat, June, Tim, Abdallah, great to see you all. Loud and clear, unanimous. Perfect. All right. All right, guys. So first and foremost, for all of us here in the trading room, at least, we had just finished up our Traders Talk workshop. We do that every Tuesday morning right here in the trading room. For anyone on social media, if you guys would like to learn more about that, just please, hey, come on ahead and join us. But for all of us in the trading room, at least, we're going to have that recording on your dashboard as soon as the market closes. So I know that we had a few of us that were joining late, if not entirely, just had missed out for any reason, which is fine. That's exactly why we record them. So at the end of the day, I'll just send it right over to IT. They'll have it up on your dashboard. All right, guys, we ended up going over KSS, though, and that leads me to the meeting here. So KSS, we ended up going over the earnings at least. I'm going to post the news here across the board for all of us in the trading room and social media as well. So just give me a quick sec. All right, so Kohl's Q2 adjusted EPS beats the sales beat as well. I guess there's more to it than just the headline because they're down 15+% today. So we ended up seeing them more or less just begin to break down below big support in the pre-market. The yellow line, kind of little line crazy. We did this more in our Traders Talk workshop, but we ended up seeing big volume getting filled right off the 2150 level early in pre-market. Once it ended up breaking 2150, that was all she wrote. That was it. But, of course, after the market opened up, though, we ended up seeing this begin to hold lower highs, resistance levels off of 2075, back down towards 2025. It was trading 25, 50-cent increments very nicely. But, hey, for as much as this kind of stalled out, I would take the money and run. We were going over that in our workshop earlier. And you would look to re-enter the trade if it gives you the opportunity to. So, once this ended up, breaking lower, breaking down towards major support off of 20, very similar to 2150. I mean, but you wouldn't really expect it this time of the day. Very clean breakdown. So we ended up seeing this make a fantastic break below 20 and obviously down towards the eventual low of the day, 1935. It's held a higher low here thus far, and we are looking for the squeeze back up. Right back up to 20 right now, bounced off that resistance here. So yeah, for right now, Kohl's, KSS, easily, I'm just going to put this on our list. All right. So yeah, like I had said, just 25-cent increments heading into the afternoon, even here, like 1975-ish, maybe a 1980 would be a minor level, 1950, the next major increment on the way down. But for right now, that 20 will be the top. All right, but yeah, for the meantime, hey, we ended up seeing the Dow begin to climb back up after a sharp drop-off earlier today. I mean, that was across the market. The SPY, the S&P dropped off. We saw the Dow. We ended up seeing the Chinese markets drop off quite a bit too because we ended up seeing NEO, a stock that we were watching leading into the market open. We were expecting a very nice run on this trade. We got a lot out of it, but for as much as we got out of it, this thing ended up reversing really quickly. So this was the first one that kind of led me to think, like, what the hell's going on? I ended up putting up the Dow as like the extra symbol right away after that, and we ended up just seeing an overall reversal just all together. So we ended up seeing a lot of stocks do exactly that, whereas normally like 10:15, 10:30 Eastern time, you'd expect reversal hour or reversal time. Ended up happening a lot earlier. So NEO was just one of many. We ended up seeing SRNE, another one, ended up doing the same exact thing. This one was up as much as like 7% in pre-market trading, pulled back a little bit prior to the market opening up. Sorrento, SRNE, we ended up seeing this make a nice pop shortly after the open. But like I had said, though, with NEO, same thing with this. This had a really tough time breaking above resistance off of 13, ended up pulling back down there. And yeah, for right now, just kind of stalling. All right, Jerry's calling out the Apple trade, saying at the high of the day. Take a look at that. Don't mind it, just a look. All-time highs, maybe. Getting right back up there. All right, and then Jerry also picked up 50 cents just a moment ago on WKHS right here in our trading room. So WKHS, another one that we were focused on, at least more so heading towards the afternoon. It's one that we've had our eyes on for quite a bit, but more so recently over the last week or so, we've seen them become shortable on TradeStation. So if you guys happen to see on the daily chart, you happen to see the big drop off from like, what is that, 16, 17 bucks. that day a week and a half ago, we were following that on the way down for the first time in a long time. WKHS was shortable, still is. Obviously, no need to short it on the way up right now, but we trade the volatility. So heading into this afternoon, you see it make a lower high right now. Maybe this is the end of the run. Maybe this will begin to pull back like it did just off its peak. But yeah, otherwise though, I mean, if it ends up breaking above 17, holding a higher low from that 17 level, perhaps we'll see it begin to move back up towards that major resistance 1750. But yeah, either way, just given the volatility, great trade from Jerry. He was in from 1650, and yeah, WKHS definitely will put on our list. WKHS, there we go. All righty, give me a quick sec, folks. And June just wrote here in our trading room, Blink interesting later or tomorrow. I know Blink, we ended up posting earnings. WKHS is in the EV market, I believe. And with that, Blink is too. So they have a good affiliation, perhaps. Blink's not doing much of anything right now, June. So it is holding support at 10. If that's what you're looking at, that is pretty interesting. It kind of dropped sharply after the market opened up, moved back up a little bit, kind of slow, stagnant, not really doing much right now. So could be interesting on the swing side of things if this is, the bottom, this begins to hold, move back up, and perhaps, like you had pointed out, maybe tomorrow, market open, maybe if there's more interest in pre-market, this ends up moving up. But yeah, for the meantime, we'll pass on this. Sean here on YouTube, welcome Sean. He says WKHS to the upside. I would love to see it. So actually, let me take a look. Do I have this on my level 4? I just had this from our Traders Talk workshop. If I don't, then I'm sorry, but no, I don't have it up right now. There's a few that I do though, just from our workshop before. Oh wait, no, do I? Maybe. Oh, I think I do. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? Let me take a look. Let's see. Where do we have resistance on this trade? Going into the afternoon, Sean, I mean, we ended up seeing a 40,000 share print filled at 1695 on WKHS. As of right now on the ask, I don't know if you could see it on the matrix just yet from TradeStation, but from Bookmap level 4, we happen to see about 16,000 shares on the ask at 1725. From their next major level, 1750, like we pointed out. I think there's like 120,000 share order on the ask at 1750. All right, cool. Guys, so what we'll do, I mean, quickly enough, we'll go from top to bottom as we always do here, but we have 2 good stocks to start our list off with, so, I like to see that. GRNQ, we did pretty well on this trade earlier. Wow, I took my eyes off it. Looking at this, still holding pretty strong near the highs right now. Yeah, obviously, we're going to put this on our list just given how it's trading, but for right now, it ended up making the pop and drop from 3. It looks like there's an order on the ask also at 310. That could be the major level heading into the afternoon. Let's just take a look on the chart here quickly. You could see like a mini head and shoulders there. It ended up tailing off down towards like 270-ish, 265. Ended up bouncing sharply, moving back up. So hopefully this isn't the end of the run. I'd love to see much more of this, or much more of an upward move, much like hopefully the WKHS does. But yeah, I don't know what the news is on this trade, but definitely the GRNQ, we were focused on this trade at least earlier. I play ignorant to the news. That, obviously we tend to focus more on the momentum, the volume side of things. So it's not always that good news drives the stock up. Perhaps we end up seeing a big drop off. In fact, actually, before I go from top to bottom, because there's no chance this stock is on the top part of the gainers list at this point. Let's jump to Kodak really quickly, because I know Dominic in our trading room really quickly just he had wrote earlier saying, I guess bad news leads to a huge pop up. I think there was bad news on Kodak that came out, and I mean maybe there's more to it than the headline, but there is news that came out today about the SEC continuing their ongoing investigation on the Kodak trade. And we end up seeing a huge pop, right? So, Pat just wrote just before, and I explained this earlier in the chat board too. Pat wrote, probably a short squeeze, right? So, something probably triggered a bunch of stops on a short sale, and we ended up seeing just a domino effect where Kodak ended up running up. Pretty interesting though, right? I mean, it's only up 5%. So like I'd said, it wasn't going to be on the top part of the gainers list. Probably wouldn't have found this at all. So I just wanted to go over that really quickly while we're at it. Alrighty. Wow, look at this too. Mogu, what the hell's going on here? Mogu, perfect double top at the high of the day right now. Let's see, anything on the ask at 4? Not much from the NASDAQ, at least. It is an NYSE stock, so perhaps you'll find more from the Amex or from the Arcabook or the NYSE entirely. But obviously, yeah, much like the GRNQ, love seeing this trend. I mean, this is like a solid trend here. I don't want to jinx it at this point, but yeah, I mean, definitely we're going to put this on our list. Stock has made some big moves in the past, it seems like, back from early July, from 224 to 318. Next morning ended up dipping off at first, but then exploding up towards like 675, 685, that is. Then back here. I don't know how many more of these runs we're gonna get left. Maybe this is the beginning. Who knows? I mean, we'll see what's ahead. Obviously, beautiful trend right now in the intraday chart going into the afternoon. 10,000 share order on the ask at 363 for right now too. You happen to see there. All right, we keep it pushing. MICT, this is going to be a bust. Yeah, I mean, you know, we spoke about this earlier in Traders Talk. I said to you guys earlier, and this was at like 11:30. So I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up closing much lower, and it looks like it's on its way. I mean, 5 is the support. Ended up testing it already a couple of times, but I mean, if it ends up blasting and underneath that 11,000 share order on the bid, that could be it. So, yeah, for right now, MICT, definitely right now, we're not going to focus on this. I mean, maybe to keep it in mind on your side list going into the rest of the week, Wednesday through Friday, for as much as this stock gapped up and ran, it totally dumped off. It might continue to dump off, but, just given the range, the volatility, it's worthwhile to keep in mind. Like, just check it out tomorrow morning at least. So, yeah, MICT, I mean, just, I guess, keep it on the side list. This was shortable. I would definitely put this on our list right now because this looks like it's only heading lower. The REDU trade. I'm sure it's going to bounce, intermittently, but it looks like just a perfect drop off right now. I mean, very similar pump and dump type move. For as much as the stock ran up as well, I mean, it looks like very low volume run up. We haven't traded this the last couple of days with good reason. I mean, back on the 14th Friday, stock was trading 189,000 shares total. So that's definitely way under what we look for. And I mean, I guess Monday, yesterday, the stock ended up trading 3.7 million. So I didn't trade this yesterday. If you guys ended up catching this yesterday, I mean, I guess we're seeing a bigger run up, a bigger dump off right now, at least. I mean, I'd say the same thing with this, like I did MICT. Just the fact that keep it on your side list going into tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I just don't think it's really going to continue to bounce back up sharply today. All right. This one's shortable. 1 ONE. For right now, we'll come back to this maybe. Not really too much to write home about there, aside from the fact that it's shortable. Ended up making a big move up. Don't really expect that to make a big move back up again. Ford pump and dump here, unfortunately. Same thing, really quickly, just because I know it's not on the, I mean, maybe you would find it, but NBY, same thing, just from this morning's stock list. They don't always work out the way that you would want them to, guys. So you got to realize when it's time to fold them. On this NBY trade, we covered this one too in Traders Talk. Just the fact that this broke over 135, it moved up at maybe like 9 cents, 8 cents. That was the big level to watch, but a really underwhelming move. And then from there, spiked right back down. I would have called this off a buck, but didn't reach there yet. Let's see. BE. This one's treated us pretty nicely over the last couple of months here. I was watching this just a bit earlier. It's pretty flat, but you know what? For right now, beginning to peek its head back over 17. You would figure that to be a smart money level. But yeah, for right now, 17, if this could hold, hopefully moving back up towards that 1740-ish line, 1742. And otherwise, if it craps out the other way, we'd look to short it. Maybe beginning to do so right now. Did I just jinx that? All right, well, put it on our list. Maybe I won't say that again. I don't want to jinx any other stocks. Groupon, take a look at Groupon here. They had a reverse stock split maybe like a month ago. I bring that up because they were like a slow, like sluggish moving, like $2-3 symbol. And they ended up reverse splitting, and they've become pretty volatile, obviously, with that in mind. So $28 stock now, 5.1 million shares, 5.2. Very similar. I'd say, if it's not breaking higher, there's only one other way the stock's going to go. It is shortable for those of us on TradeStation. I don't mind putting this on our list, at least for right now. Oh, really quickly. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to copy and paste. I should have done this earlier on the MICT trade, guys. Really quickly. Just I had this up. Sorry. MICT. I just wanted to copy and paste the news on that. I had that alongside KSFs at least going into this meeting. Figured just copied and pasted there for the chat boards. All right, back to Watt, at least for right now. WATT, familiar name. We do like this stock at times. Looks like it made a kind of like a nice pop just over 4 before. Pulled back pretty sharply, I guess back down towards that 387 previous high. Kind of looks like a pump and dump. I mean, not really a dump, but at least a false breakout, right? We'll come back to it. Familiar name. I mean, if it's not today, maybe it's tomorrow. PEIX has been like a monster earlier today, or at least it was, and still kind of holding strong. The volume kind of tapered off a bit. Kind of bounced under and over the VWAP at the time, just earlier after 1 o'clock. Right now, I mean, there's like 12,000 share order on the ask at 530, 9,400 shares on the ask at the high of the day, 533. Seems pretty slow. But for right now, it's holding strong near the highs, right? So we always like to say this. If we happen to see a stock holding strong near the highs of the day going into the afternoon, should it end up breaking through a major resistance, then we would love to see it run higher into the close. Otherwise, if it ends up crapping out the other way, like we said before with Groupon, etc., BE, whatever, we would look to short it. Wendy calling out the GRNQ. Yeah, GRNQ, we already covered, Wendy. That one's already on our list. Maybe I'll jump back to that if you want me to. Did I? I skipped forward, I guess. 1 sec. Let's go back to GRNQ. She was just asking about that. Did this do anything new since? Yeah, trying to push over 310 we were looking at just before, by the way. All right, what else do we have here? XBI, XSPA, familiar name. Ooh, nice run up. I missed this, I guess. I don't know. Just ended up missing this run from 1230. XSPA looks kind of low volume. I mean, a couple of big volume pops, but aside from that, it really tapered off quick. But still kind of holding strong near the highs. Hopefully we're not late to this run. And if we're late to this run today, hopefully, like I'd said before, the PEIX, hopefully there's more left to it tomorrow or later on this week. But yeah, for right now, don't mind adding this here too. All right, let's hop over to the losers list here, guys. See if there's anything looking just as good, if not better, on this side. Current time 12:48, so we're running pretty well on time here. C-test, by the way, guys. Anyone on TradeStation? Most of us here in the room, at least I know, on TradeStation, and for some of us on social media, if you happen to see this thing here, C-test, it's a test symbol, so just don't even bother. I was fooled by that maybe like a month and a half, 2 months ago, and ever since you just skip over it. So it's like, oh, down 58%. Yeah, we were talking about that in class earlier today, so or yesterday rather. So just keep that in mind. All right. Bunch of stuff hard to borrow to begin. U1, familiar name at least. Oh man, this thing got smoked early on today. Jeez. Got crushed. Ended up bouncing. Pretty low volume stock altogether today. Just want to check in on a couple of others here. Carve. Yeah, even lower volume. Just that kind of similar move. Ubx stock from yesterday, right? I want to go over this. So UBX quickly, guys, we were talking about this yesterday afternoon, pretty much right at this time. We were talking about the stock breaking all-time lows, ended up kind of cratering over 4, dropped off still a little bit more from where we had left off during the meeting. And of course, going into the morning today, we ended up seeing the stock just continue. So I mean, we don't really have these opportunities come up too often where we see a stock like that's like a $4 stock, maybe $3 stock that's shortable, that's breaking an all-time low, but it's like the same thing as like following a stock that's breaking an all-time high. If you guys are timid on trading a stock like AMD because it's breaking an all-time high, I mean, it's probably because of the price. It's like an $85 symbol, right? I mean, we've had a couple of stocks around the 20 range, break all-time highs recently, or 15, like a WKHS even, or a NEO. We ended up seeing that stock, break all-time highs over the last month. But those opportunities don't come up too often. The same to be said with this. This was incredible. A short opportunity that you rarely get to trade. So we ended up seeing the UBX stock continue down from 350 support. Once it broke below that around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I mean, it was a free fall. So, there might still be room for more on this trade. I was looking more on the upside. Whenever you happen to see a stock down 65% one day, you would hope to see it make a dead cat bounce, a squeeze back up. We were talking about how it failed to do that yesterday after holding underneath 5, and just from there, look at where it is right now. So UBX, I definitely don't mind just putting this right back on our list. Coles went over it already. There's the break over 20. One of our students, David, was asking me, he thought that the next resistance above was at like 2090. I mean, based on the chart, 21's a big level. Don't get me wrong. And there could be a lot of upside to see this run higher, but you got to take this level by level. Ended up moving up towards 20, holding pretty well right under there, and then just right now kind of making the shake through. So it's still right near the VWAP price, 2002. It's going to be consolidating quite a bit, I feel like. So I still feel like there could be room to see more upside on this trade, but just be careful. If the volume kind of wanes off, don't expect it, and hold on only if it drops off. That's it. All right. Rich called out CNK earlier. Rich L. And dropping off. Man, what the hell happened here? Take a look on Benzinga Pro for this one, at least. So I'm on checking the news on this. So I'll copy and paste, as always. Pat, you beat me to it. All right, so Pat posted for us here on the chat board, Cinemark shares trading lower after the company announced a $400 million convertible senior note offering. So I guess obviously not a good reaction altogether in terms of stock price. Ended up seeing it drop off quite a bit. Shortable though for us, so great opportunity here at least. So CNK easily going to put on our list here too. All right, I'll tell you guys. I mean, we have a pretty good list as far as the number of stocks altogether, and then at least the stocks that are on here. I'm pretty transparent. I'll be pretty real. There are some times where I say we don't really have the greatest list. We have a pretty decent list here in terms of opportunity. WKHS, KSS, CNK, XSPA. Those are all stocks that we've called out consistently or routinely over the last month. Aside from that, there's still a couple of others that have tight spreads, a lot of liquidity on the order book, like the PEIX trade, the UBX. Again, I should say that one still is in play, and a few others too. All right, guys, if there's anything else that's moving right now, up, down, left, right, breaking out, getting halted. I saw Norman right here in the chat board, MDLY just got halted. So I will jump to that. If there's anything else that's doing anything of the nature, let me know. Yeah, great call. I mean, hopefully we're not too late to this run. I mean, this thing just exploded. Real cheapy, 65 cents back, up to $1.15. Norman said he got out with 4 cents in MDLY. Norman, I'll tell you, 4 cents on a stock like this, regardless of where you get in from 65 cents or up to $1, that's a fantastic profit. That's a nice trade on a really inexpensive stock like that. So good job. Yeah, for right now, halted. We'll see where it reopens up. 119 is the lowest order on the ask right now. Might look to reopen up right where it is, 109 on the bid, either that or 119 on the ask, it seems like. But yeah, definitely good call. All right, so in total, guys, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 stocks, shoe fits. I think that's pretty good. All right, guys. So for anybody tuning in on Facebook Live or YouTube, if you guys would like to learn more, first and foremost, just make sure that you guys like and subscribe, notify yourself on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Aside from that, feel more than free to join us right here inside our trading room. Myself and Fausto will be commentating us going into the market close. All right, guys. So I'll post and tweet the list, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.